Okay, this is just kind of a recap video for Tuesday, just to kind of show you what happened in the market and then what we went ahead and took today and what we were looking for. So the 15-minute chart is where we always go out to, and then this is the 6 o'clock in the morning. So we went ahead and started to look at the market as it opened and see what we were going to take that day. The main thing what we were looking for at the beginning of the day was we were trying to figure out exactly where the market wanted to go without the price action moving forward. We're just looking at the market open. So there's a couple of scenarios that you could look at, which would be this idea where it would have broke up into this pattern. We marked the top of the market and the bottom of the market between this 12-hour window through the evening in the U.S. And then we could be a couple different things that could be going on here that we were looking at. This was basically how it was drawn out, was this kind of being the top. And then this pattern, as we saw it broke down here, this is when we started to think, hey, what's going on? Are we going to go ahead and continue down? Stochages were low. You go down to the lower time frames during this time. The same thing was going on where it was breaking down. We were starting to look at we were below the 21. A lot of this action, though, was starting to turn and show more of a bullish setup with the current pattern into the 1 and the 5 minute. So we're just kind of sitting and watching at this point to kind of see what would it be like as this broke down through the pattern, and then we got a back test to the 21. We were looking at it here to see if it was a good time to take a short. The way the stochages and everything were set up and the MACD, RSI, and looking at the lower time frames is definitely showing more of a bullish pattern. We bounced off the 200 on the 15-minute, which showed strength. Came on through. Obviously, it started to go back up, which that's where we started to look at this pattern. You could have a pattern in here as well. This obviously threw off the pattern to make it look normal when you're trying to draw a pattern on here. So this made it kind of look ugly. So then you kind of had to start looking at what was really trending here. And we knew when this spiked up, we took out this top area of the line that we drew through the night, the high and the low. We knew we just took that out, but yet we couldn't close above it. So that was a good sign of negative pressure. So then we were looking for, the negative pressure to trade us down. So when they came back through here, myself was looking for the back test of the 21. Everything showed that this was a good place to enter. So I did take this entry here. I put my stop above the support up here. I already knew we had taken the money out of that liquidity pocket. So at this point, I was going to go ahead and let it trade. Came back down, tested the lower area, basically the 200 on the 15 again, then rejected, back up I got in. Then it came up, which we were just watching the pattern to see, if it was going to hold this area, what we were confirming in the lower time frames, which it did. And then it kind of bounced in here most of the day. Then it broke down. So the one thing with this is it broke down again finally. Obviously, when you're watching price action throughout the day, you don't have full confirmation, until it moves out. Like that's what we're looking in the past to kind of show you. So this scenario, it did play back out again. So it almost did the exact same run twice. So it faked us out, came up and showed strength up here, which that's what we were watching for in the morning. Went ahead and broke out, which gave us a strong indication that it was going to dump down, go ahead and go bearish. So when it back tested, that's when I got in my style of trading. It did come back up and it came down and did a test again. Well, this time when it came back up, you can see that the trade actually, when I run my mouse over it, let me get it out of the way here. So as this came down, bounced again, it actually gave you a second retest of the 21. And then the nice thing with this is the next candle obviously pretty much confirmed that it was going to go ahead and show a short here. When I got in, the next candle just pushed up against it and put a lot more bullish attitude on the market. So we were continued just to trend down all day, definitely negative pressure. If you go out to trying to figure out what's going on, the 15 goes into the 4 hour. So if you dig out to the 4 hour, you can see us on a rounding top. And this is the close of the market on the night before, Monday and going into Tuesday morning. And you can see it rejected the 21, rejected the 21, rejected the 21. We opened up, this is roughly the 4 hour candle that I got in, rejected the 21, and you can see the sell-off pressure. So really at this point, we're rounding out. More than likely, we're looking at going down and testing this 200 again, on this trade, what we'd be looking at. So let's go ahead and jump back into the 15 with the 4 hour. And this is again where you would have saw that back test. So with putting this trade on here, you could have easily got in also on this back test. You could have ran your stop up here on either spot again. How you want to look at trading. And then as of right now, the trade has come down and bounced right in this area. So you could have exited if you did. This just basically says it's almost a 4-to-1 ratio. Using this tool, the risk to reward ratio. If you go down to the 5 minute, one of the rules is when it back tests, it's 21. So we obviously, if you got this trade and you're looking for a 3-to-1, typically it definitely has done that, and now it's back testing against this. The same thing. Here's the first candle. If we get a close above it, and this is a good sign that you could look at getting out right here. Obviously, if you get out in this area, right now it's about a 3-to-1, right where it was kind of sitting when we started talking about it. So what I'd be looking for is this to, get a close above the 21 and start showing, that we're in a change of direction. One thing I'd like to point out just for something that helps you with real quick is you can see the RSI had drove down out of the noise area, so it's low. When you see this, it's going to create, if this is going to turn here or do anything, we're going to create bearish or bullish divergence. So in order for that to do that, we have to create a lower low here. So price action has to will pull back up and then break down and create a lower low. And then this RSI will come up, but it'll only go down so far. So you'll have a line coming down and a line going up. So in theory, what's going to happen is if you could draw this line here, this would come down and bounce on that line and start going up. And then this price action would come on down. And these two lines would intersect if you were looking at it that way. So price action is going to make a lower low off of this low. And then that's going to be your bottom. And then it'll start to trade back up. So this stuff to kind of know about when you're charting and know just behavior of trade. So when this first happened, you can see that it got out of the noise zone on the RSI. It made a lower low here, but it took the RSI even lower. So we know that that's the current low. Now we're looking for a lower low and a higher low to create bullish divergence in the market. But again, do you want to deal with that trauma? So a good exit, if you hadn't got out, you can always get out here if you don't want to continue to see if it can go lower. So that's about it for the day. Recap.